A developer in Vancouver picks up a heritage property in Kitsilano. The house is old, needs serious work, but the numbers pencil out on paper. He signs the Heritage Revitalization Agreement with the city, and then the bills start coming in. Restoration work on the heritage exterior alone, $280,000. Heritage consultant fees to even get through the process, $20,000. The HRA negotiation with the city, 9 months. Carrying costs on a Vancouver land purchase during those 9 months, at today's interest rates, easily another $80,000 to $100,000 just sitting there. That's before a single new unit gets built. This is not a one-off story. It's playing out across Vancouver's residential neighborhoods right now. And the small-scale developers who thought the HRA was an opportunity are the ones getting hit hardest. Let's break down exactly what's happening. First, what is a Heritage Revitalization Agreement? It's a legally binding deal between a property owner and the city of Vancouver. You agree to protect, restore, and preserve a heritage building. In exchange, the city gives you bonus density, more floor space than standard zoning would ever allow. On a typical 33 by 122-foot lot in Vancouver, the bonus usually works out to 800 to 1,000 square feet of additional buildable area. At today's construction values, that bonus floor area is worth somewhere between $150,000 and $400,000, depending on the neighborhood. In a place like Kitsilano or Shaughnessy, it can push past $400,000 when the extra density allows a full additional dwelling unit. Vancouver has approved more than 200 of these agreements since the program launched, and the city does grant real density when the heritage protection is legitimate. So, on the surface, it sounds like a great deal. More density, tax breaks, bonus floor area. But here's the part the brochure doesn't lead with. The covenant goes on title permanently. You cannot demolish the heritage building. You cannot change the original windows, the roofline, the cladding, the massing. And every buyer who comes after you inherits those same restrictions. That permanence is the first thing small developers underestimate.
Now let's talk about the actual numbers, because this is where things get painful. The HRA process alone takes 6 to 12 months to negotiate with the city. During that entire period, you are carrying the land. You are paying interest on your purchase loan. You are paying property taxes. You are paying your heritage consultant, which runs $15,000 to $25,000 just for the process. And that's before any physical work begins. Once construction starts, the restoration costs on a heritage exterior in Vancouver right now range from $150,000 to $300,000, depending on the condition of the building. A full restoration, original windows, period-appropriate materials, correct roofline, and custom millwork can push well past $450,000 on a 1,500-square-foot home. According to data from Vancouver General Contractors published in early 2026, restoring a single heritage-grade window costs between $2,800 and $4,200. A modern vinyl window costs $800. The city won't accept the $800 window. You're paying the $4,200 one, or custom ordering wavy glass from architectural suppliers with 4 to 8 week lead times. And restoration work on a heritage property typically runs 15 to 25% more expensive than a standard renovation. Then add the infill construction, the new units you're building beside or behind the heritage building. In Vancouver right now, that's $400 to $450 per square foot. For a 2 to 3 unit infill on a standard lot, you're looking at $600,000 to $900,000 in construction costs for the new build alone. And then, on top of all of that, there are the city fees, Vancouver's development cost levies, Metro Vancouver's development cost charges. Metro Vancouver DCCs jumped from $21,941 per unit in 2025 to $29,197 per unit in January 2026. Another increase is already scheduled for January 2027, pushing it to $34,133 per unit. The Home Builders Association of Vancouver reported in 2024 that combined city and regional fees on new homes in BC range from $39,000 to $120,000 per unit, and 73,000 approved homes across the region remained unbuilt because the numbers no longer worked. For a small developer doing a 3 or 4 unit project, that fee stack alone is $200,000 to $320,000 total. That's not a rounding error, that's a line item that can kill a project.
Here's the thing about big developers versus small ones. A large development company has the balance sheet to carry a project for a year or two during negotiations and approvals. They have equity, they have credit lines, they have multiple projects offsetting each other. A small-scale urban land developer, someone doing 1 or 2 projects at a time, does not have that cushion. Every month the HRA sits in negotiation with the city is a month of carrying costs. In Vancouver's current lending environment, those costs are real and compounding. The West Vancouver District Government has publicly acknowledged that HRA applications take approximately 12 to 16 months from start to council approval. That's not even construction time, that's just the approval process. For a small developer who bought a heritage property, put down a significant deposit, and took out a construction loan, 16 months of carrying costs can wipe out the margin on an entire project. And the process is not predictable. It depends on council schedules. It depends on the complexity of the proposal. It depends on public feedback. It depends on how quickly the applicant can respond to information requests from city staff. One unexpected revision request, one council scheduling delay, and you're looking at another 2 or 3 months added to the clock. Meanwhile, building material costs are not standing still. According to analysis from Rain City Properties published in March 2026, building materials are currently sitting at 33% above pre-pandemic levels. US-Canada tariffs on lumber and steel are adding an estimated $9,000 or more per unit to construction costs. On a 4-unit project, that's $36,000 in added costs that didn't exist 2 years ago. Construct Connect is forecasting a 5% decline in residential housing starts across Canada in 2026, specifically because of rising costs and financing uncertainty. Small developers doing heritage infill are sitting right in the middle of all of this. To be fair, the City of Vancouver knows development viability is broken. They said so publicly. In December 2025, Vancouver City Council approved a 20% temporary reduction to development cost levies. On a typical multiplex project, that saves roughly $13,000 to $20,000. They also launched a rental development relief program starting February 2026 with full DCL waivers for projects meeting affordability criteria. And in June 2025, Council approved a DCL deferral option, splitting payments across 12 and 24 months to help with cash flow. These are real moves, they're not nothing. But a 20% DCL reduction saving $13,000 to $20,000 does not fix a project that's already underwater $80,000 in carrying costs and $280,000 in heritage restoration bills. Polygon Homes Executive Vice President Robert Bruno said it plainly in a January 2026 letter to Metro Vancouver's Board of Directors that scheduled fee increases are coming as many projects are already becoming financially unviable due to weak market conditions. And that's coming from a large developer. A small operator with one heritage project and a 12-month approval clock is in a far worse position. A developer analyst quoted in a July 2025 Stories report put it this way: viability started breaking in 2022, and what's happening now is the result of that. The math for small-scale heritage infill in Vancouver right now is very tight. In many cases, it doesn't work at all.
Here's the bottom line. The Heritage Revitalization Agreement was designed as a tool to protect Vancouver's older character homes while creating new housing density. And for the right operator, with the right property, the right timeline, and enough capital to absorb the process, it can still work. But for a small-scale developer working with thin margins, a single project, and a timeline that depends on city negotiations going smoothly, the HRA is one of the riskiest paths in the Vancouver market right now.
The approval process takes over a year. The restoration costs are running $150,000 to $300,000 before any new units get built. The city and regional fees are climbing, with more increases already scheduled for 2027, and building materials are 33% above where they were pre-pandemic. Vancouver City Council is making moves to ease the pressure, but the relief measures so far are not sized for the scale of the problem. And right now, small developers across the city are either walking away from heritage projects or finishing them and not making money. That's the story no one's talking about loudly enough. If this is where things stand heading into the second half of 2026, and with another DCC increase coming in January 2027, the question isn't whether some of these small operators will exit the market, it's how many already have.